What up, fantasy football people? We are back talking IDP, defense, pass rushers, wherever you want to call it.
The
And boy Zach,
quarterback getters, the
yeah.
sack getters, them hard hitters. So here's the question that you and I were talking about right before we started. Is Michael Parsons an outside linebacker or is he a defensive end?
Ooh, that is very good because he was on the report. He is a linebacker, but
So yeah, that's why I was thinking about that also.
everybody says he's an edge that plays off ball linebacker is what.
If they list Michael Parsons as a edge, he's definitely my number 5 pass rusher for sacks in IDP fantasy football
Yeah,
because he's so versatile. He's gonna get you your sack total. He's gonna get his um, runs for losses. He's gonna, because of how good he is athletically, he's gonna fall into coverage. He might get you a sack or two throughout the year. So there's just so much value there for him, especially late in a fantasy draft. So Michael Parsons is number 5 on my list. And if he isn't available, then I'm gonna go with Aiden Hutchins for a lot of the same reasons. Is the dude was just consistent as hell, getting pressures, getting to the quarterback. He had forced fumbles and he had interceptions. Yeah, he was probably the closest thing that to JJ Watt in his heyday. That, you know what I mean? Like the
yeah,
versatility that the dude had. So I value Aiden Hutchins as a top 5 pass rusher in IDP fantasy football.
yeah. I think from what I've gathered of IDP, and what's not much people, but if you can get a versatile player like a Micah Parsons, like you said, though, I mean, that is extra points added onto your team for a vital role in a later draft pick for sure. Um, Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, a lot of people were worried about his rookie, now sophomore year, but I mean, I don't know why you would be worried about it. It's not like his production went down, it was steadily going up. So he's a vital person. Somebody I was looking at on my end was, how do you feel about Max Crosby from the
I
Raiders?
like Max Crosby. Like he's definitely top 8 in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um, Especially considering they drafted the kid from Texas Tech to play alongside of him, which means it could potentially be a little bit easier. I have no issues with Max Crosby in the top 8 or so. Like if he's
yeah,
there, like his value pick.
yeah. I was trying to see if I, man, like putting Parsons at 5. I definitely do not put Crosby above him. So
Right.
it's yeah,
That's what makes some of these guys ahead of Crosby ahead of him is that versatility. Like they can
yeah,
offer you more than just a pass rusher.
yeah.
And the only person that I have on my list that does not offer a whole lot of versatility, but they're just so much better at what they do than Max Crosby is I have Myles Garrett at number 4. Like Myles Garrett is such a good pass rusher. Myles Garrett might be one of the only guys who plays on the outside who possesses the power to get to the quarterback and set an edge and stop the run. Like he's like Chris Jones, but on the outside. Myles Garrett is so good.
Yeah.
So and he's consistent. He's always there.
And a lot of people put Miles Garrett as their number 1, 2, or 3 because of how many sacks he gets on the
Yep.
quarterback. So those points skyrocket up even more. I mean, it's funny because all these guys can be argued of it. I guess for me, I'm good with your list honestly because thinking about how you're saying it and breaking it down, the versatility is what you want.
It's
So
like
I'm
if
just
you're doing traditional fantasy football, you value a running back who can catch more than somebody who's just really good at running. You know what I mean? So like
yes,
some of the so like number 3 on my list, I have Hassan Reddick, Philadelphia Eagles. Like the dude was he might have been the second best pass rusher last year behind Bosa. Hassan Reddick is so good. He sets the edge. He stops the run. He gets to the quarterback. He's stupid fast. The quarterback never rolls his way to try to scramble because he's going to catch him. He's just good. He's consistent. Not to mention, Philly pretty much drafted all of the Georgia Bulldogs defense, so it's only going to get easier for him. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he had 16 sacks, tied for second in the NFL last year, and 68 pressures, which was ninth best. So adding in half of Georgia's defense on top of that,
Yep.
yeah, this dude is gonna be lighting up some of those teams. Good luck, Giants. Good luck, Washington, and good luck to
Really
Dallas.
good luck. I think it's a great pick, Hassan Reddick. If he was my first pass rusher in fantasy, I'd take it. Number two on my list, I got T.J. Watt. Um, for the same reasons, he's stupid fast. He's consistent. I mean, he gives up a lot of runs. Like he's not a great run stopper, but that doesn't reflect in fantasy, so that doesn't matter. But then
Yeah,
there's just like something about those Watt boys where they find the ball finds them. You know, he gets sacks or somebody else will force a fumble and it just fall in his lap. You know what I mean? Like he just does shit the right way and it works out for him. So as long as he can stay healthy, TJ Watt is he's my number two pass rusher in IDP.
I mean, what former defensive player of the year before. Um, the we always say culture matters in football and any sport
Mm-hmm.
actually, and that Steelers culture just sets him up perfectly for it. His coach always puts him in the right spot also. So I do like that. I guess who's your number one in this
I got Nick
point?
Bosa, San Francisco 49ers. In my opinion, he's the cream of the crop. He's the best there is. He's built to pass to rush the passer. Um, I know they lost to Miko, but still, you bring in Wilkes and he's just as good. So I don't think there would be any drop for him, barring the fact Bosa actually will show up to play, um, since he's arguing about money right now. But that's not for us to decide. If he's on the
Yeah,
field, Nick Bosa is the man to me.
I mean Nick Bosa is an old school football player. It's pretty much what it is. I don't. He's one of those get football players. Even though all that off the field stuff's going on, I feel he's just going to go out there play football, take a few heads of some quarterbacks, and go on with his day. And like we said, culture. San Francisco has one of the best head coaches in the league.
Another
Um,
name that I didn't mention, and I mean, it's only because he doesn't play. He moves all over the line. Is Aaron Donald? You can't sleep on Donald. He's one of the best I ever seen play football. He's gonna get you numbers, but to expect the way he moves on the line and the way he stops the run and he takes on double teams, to expect him to have the sack numbers like consistently like these guys right now is not realistic. But if he was the first defensive player I could get, I'd take it with no problem.
would you be comfortable in taking Joey Bosa even after all the hurt injuries and everything?
As
Like a
long
later
as
pick?
it's not a later pick. Like there's a group of guys who have the talent. It's just a matter of, are you healthy? Like, are you on the field? Like, there's just a group of guys who are so consistent. Joey Bosa, um, Cam Jordan from the Saints. Like he consistently I can guarantee you he's going to get you between 9 and 11 sacks this year. It's just what the dude does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if the pick values it, then do it. Trey Henderson from the Bengals, like Chase Young, I think he could step up and jump up on this list. So to me, when it comes to the sack thing, it's more about consistency. Like you're not having games where you're not going 2 sacks in one game and then you go four with nothing. Like you're not doing nothing for me there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man. It's funny because we talk about in fantasy football the big three quarterbacks, the big five receivers, the big whatever running backs. Then you look at IDP players and you look at these defense. I mean, literally all 5 to 6 players you said could end up switching at any point in one
Yeah.
through 5, 6.
And it'd be funny because, like you said, four can go to one and one can go to five, but they'll all still have a really good year. You
They'll
know what I
all be
mean?
productive. They'll all have almost similar numbers. Somebody would lead in one product while the other leads in the other product. So it's definitely one of those things when you're drafting an IDP player, you don't want to wait too long if you can get one of these guys on your team because,
Mm-hmm.
like Zach said, the versatility that they bring to your team when it comes to points is going to be major. So, I mean, if you like this type of content, I know there's not many IDP videos out there for you guys and gals that play this. You got any comments? Leave them down below. Zach and me will read them. I'm sure I will let Zach answer them more than likely so you get a precise answer on it. If you don't agree with our list, let us know what you don't like about it. If you like our list, let us know what you like about it. Who did we
Or
miss on it? That being said, guys, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. Does amazing stuff for us. We'll be dropping a lot more fantasy football content in the next few weeks as the months go on. You can join us every Sunday morning, 8 in the morning Central Time. We will be live doing fantasy questions for you, going touching on every single game. And you can ask your IDP questions in there. You can ask your FanDuel DraftKings questions. You can ask your Dynasty questions. You can ask all questions fantasy football related to us. There'll be a multitude of us parlay questions also. So make sure you ask them. Let us know what you think. That being said, we're out of here, guys. Good luck on your drafts. We're done.
Peace.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.